He shoved what in my daughter's mouth?
Dear diary, they're trying to kill me. Anxiety, they're trying to kill me. Feeling like I really might die. Feeling like I really might die. Feeling like why even try? Feeling like I already died. Feeling like talk to me. So awkwardly. Now sharpen me.
Alright. Whoop whoop, welcome back to LHRPG. It's your boy Lil Nitro, here with some co-stars and a new guest or possibly future co-star here.
What's up?
So we got Dwayne, Jade, and New Booty. We still got to come up with a stage name for.
Oh, this man.
So,
Just see you using your stage name as that guy.
we finished Rick and Morty tonight.
Fuck yeah.
Full disclosure, there's a few rooms we skipped over in order to finish on time, but we're going to do those in another one shot.
Yeah.
But you guys did the big boss fight. How do we think it went? We're going to try our best to keep it spoiler free as far as plot goes. However, I did change the ending quite a bit, so.
Well, I will say if we do accidentally spoil anything, I will put on the thumbnail a spoiler warning.
There we go.
That way, everyone who watches knows ahead of time.
Put potential spoiler warning. That way they know we're trying to avoid it.
Right.
So, how was your first game, buddy?
It's honestly not what I expected, bro.
What did you expect?
I expected it to be a lot more boring than that.
He expected nerds with braces to sit around a table and go, "Saw."
Now, I mean, when Chase told me that it was pretty fun, I was like, okay, maybe.
You had told me earlier that you had watched like playthroughs or something. Was that like on YouTube or like live?
YouTube.
What channel?
Honestly, I don't remember. They were just random ones.
Ouch. Okay. So, because there's quite a few big ones out there now.
Yeah.
And there's most of them I actively avoid watching in case on the off chance one of my players decides they want to try to run and I get to play and they want to run one of those.
Yeah.
Because like Fantasy High, I completely ripped from playthroughs on YouTube and ran that for them and we had a fucking blast. They loved that one. So, first thing, I want to get everyone's favorite moment from tonight's game on camera. We're going to start with Dorian. What was your favorite moment, no matter if it involved you or not or anything? What was your absolute favorite moment from tonight?
When I was about to commit suicide, and the voice in my head said not to, and I turned into this thing.
Man's guardian angel came down and
Yeah.
woke that man up.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Don't take the coward's way out.
Right. You're better than this.
You've got this.
Oh, shit.
It's like, listen, bro, don't be a bitch.
Never thought an evil patron would give a pep talk.
Right? Well, I mean, you guys have played evil characters before, and I'm just going on record as saying the very first time I ever ran an adventure where every PC was evil, you guys cared more about the power of friendship.
It seems like we always go for like a teamwork effort than anything else, even when we're playing evil characters.
Which is awesome, because it makes my job so much easier.
Well, like when you're
Because
playing.
Dorian split the party tonight, and what happened, buddy?
He did.
Yeah.
What happened?
Inevitably.
Why don't you be a little more specific? Tell them what happened. This isn't in the module. You're not spoiling nothing.
I said, show me around. Be like, okay, I got chopped in the
So, who were you guys in combat with when he left?
When he left, we weren't in combat.
No?
We had just gotten that one guy to surrender because I fucking
Yeah.
fried his buddies.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, well, we want to do a long rest. He's like, you
Yeah,
guys,
that's
I'm
right.
going through
That's
here.
Yeah.
And we're like,
wanted to
okay,
keep
you
going.
suffer consequences
Yeah,
on your own.
And I did.
So they put up this fucking sanctum spell. It's like a better version of Liam's tiny hut, I guess.
Do you think they've seen the concept art on the screen long enough to take it down because it's hard to see our faces on the camera?
Is it?
Yeah, like some of our faces are getting cut off. It looks like,
No?
No.
or is that just my eyes?
That's just your
That's
eyes.
just your eyes.
Okay,
I want to keep the concept art up. It helps build.
I'll cut that out.
Yeah. So, where the fuck was I? Okay, so basically, they had this sanctum spell. We used a force cage manager for it, but they wanted the long rest in the sanctum. He wanted to keep going, so I have a set of rules printed out that says don't split the party. He wanted to do it, so I let him do it, and he encountered the big boss and got trapped in an orb.
As soon as he learned who it was, I looked at him and I was like, dude, you wanted to split the party.
I had it coming.
You ran into the boss
I
on
know.
your own. You're fucked.
I had it coming.
What's your favorite moment from tonight?
The lip smack.
Honestly. It's when your son shit talk that dragon.
So, my son, he's 9 years old. He's about to be 10, but he's 9 years old, and he played with us tonight. I've run him through a couple of dungeons before. He really likes it, but he doesn't have the attention span for like a full roleplay campaign. But he's like, Dad, I want to play, so I let him play. And this boy is amazing. Basically, these guys were like super overpowered and just creaming everything. So I was like, I gotta give him something that's gonna be a challenge. So I threw in 2 adult dragons, a green and a black. Okay. So, I forgot who killed the green one. Yeah, you.
And then
Yeah, you decapped it, didn't you?
No, it was the
No,
black
that
one.
was me.
Yeah, you killed the green one.
Yeah.
And then I
Okay.
killed the black
Yeah,
one.
you killed the black one. But
Yeah,
anyway,
because I fucking tried.
the green dragon got killed, and it was just the black one left. And it was my son's turn to go, and he's gonna shoot it. He's got this crossbow that, when he hits, imbues the victim with the hex spell. So he fucking aims it at his eye. I call disadvantage for an aim shot. And he looks this dragon in the face, and he goes, "You want to end up like your brother?" Pop! And I was like, "Damn!"
It was a
And
menace.
even on disadvantage, he still fucking hit it. Even with disadvantage, he still fucking hit. He's rolled like an 18 and 15, and his bonus is like a +8. So yeah, they're like level 10. They're way overpowered for this adventure, which is why I beefed it up as much as I did. But in my experience, you know, you don't really have as much fun at like level 1 through 3 as you do like 8 through 10.
No.
And it's his first game, so I wanted it to be as fun as possible, to kind of get him hooked.
And it
Did it work?
worked.
It
It worked.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. I've got to say, Iron Man's Bolaro when he pokeballed the T-Rex. This new green summit right here has the Iron Man's Bolaro, and in case you're living under a rock and don't know what that is, it's this little ball that's made of iron banding, like what we use at work.
Yep.
And you throw it, you say the command word or phrase, it pops open and wraps up, entangles, you know, whatever you're targeting. And he made it go up around the T-Rex's neck to strangle it. And what did you say as you threw it?
I said, I said the weapon's name and I said I choose you.
It was great. It was great. So he strangled the T-Rex down there.
A lot more funny whenever it happened. But
Oh yeah, you had to be there. You had to be there. But this is a game diary series. It's not a live stream while
Yeah.
we're playing. I don't think it work very well if we tried to stream our games because then we'd be more focused on pleasing the audience rather than the players.
Yeah.
And our game time is for us. Okay, you're the only one we didn't get. Favorite moments in tonight's game? Hands down.
It's gotta be when I acid splashed every single person in that statue room except the one guy, and he dropped to his knees.
Oh, that fucking grenade thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
He said, please don't cook me, bro.
Right. He's like, please, I'm sorry.
The lighting is a lot better, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I got that lampshade on. That's what did it.
Yeah, I had these 2 potion vials from earlier in the dungeon. This guy was... What was he trying to do again?
Oh. You talk about Tommy Two Butts?
Yeah.
Apologize.
It's not your fault. She's got them.
Tommy Two Butts was actually, now that it's over, I can tell you, all that research and shit that you found, he was trying to find a cure for a cursed room that you guys haven't come across yet.
So you can't tell us about that room, at least.
Not fully, but there's a curse that's emanating from this room, and he's trying to break it.
Okay.
And I believe you guys killed him.
Yeah, what was
So
it
he
he was
can't cure that
combining,
now.
though?
It was an acid potion with a fire potion.
Yeah.
And it made like a flashbang grenade type deal.
Yeah, and, because he had this thing that launched it, and I banished him. And it went with him, so I didn't have the gun, but I had the potions.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I was like, can I throw them and it have an effect like a grenade? Or like throw them like a grenade and it's still, activated? He's like, yeah, sure. So we got to this room.
I gave her an AoE template and everything for it.
We got to this room and I took one out and I fucking launched it at these cultists. And all of them fucking died instantly. And the one that was just away from them on the other side of the room, like, looked at me, dropped to his knees. He's like, I'm sorry. That was actually the room where that was the guy who he cuffed him up and we were trying to intimidate him when he decided to fucking split party. That was that same room. I can't hear you. Come about. Right there.
Want me to make a 2-ounce bowl?
Try that, yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure you go from after, okay?
Okay.
So, while I get this going, since it happened nothing like it's supposed to happen in written, while I get this rolled up, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and diarize your climax from tonight. In the game, not your orgasmic one.
I think he's the only one that had that one.
And that's only because of how boss it was to see all those flame spells being thrown.
I think he had a little...
Fireball!
I think he had a little too much fun looking the goblin in the eyes while he shoved the pickle down his mouth.
Oh, you.
Yeah, it was me.
You shoved the pickle in her mouth.
Because I force fed her a pickle and she became a pickle.
He shoved a pickle in my mouth. I became
I kept her in my fucking pocket so I hated her.
She had a lycanthro pickle.
You're gonna take this pickle and you're gonna like it.
Like, listen, bro, you gonna choke on my friend for a minute? Don't ask questions. Don't ask me.
How about that? Yeah. You guys tell the pickle story.
Oh my god.
That's a good
So we entered this...
Spoiler warning. This part is in the module.
We entered this room and it was a food pantry full of nothing but jars of pickles, and each one had a little Pickle Rick looking...
Not each one. About a dozen
Yeah.
or so had pickles. The rest was just brine.
Yeah, it had a little Pickle Rick looking motherfuckers in it. And I had already, Dorian got this deck of many things. I think we have that somewhere around here.
It's over there. It's buried in shit.
We'll
right
have to
now.
show it later. But,
If you play D&D, you know you've at least heard of the deck of many
So,
things.
the first time we got it, we decided to all draw 3.
And he got it his first game.
Yeah. Well, this last time, I only drew 1. I wasn't taking the risk of getting a bunch of bad stuff, and the one that I got was the Void card. and it fucked me over because I lost my soul. So I'm walking around like this empty shell. We get to this pantry, and as players, we're all talking about, well, who's gonna eat one of these pickles? We gotta see what's gonna happen, And I was like, I can't. They said something to me. I was like, I can't do anything except defend myself right now. So this motherfucker's like, I'm going to shove a pickle into your mouth and force you to eat it. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, full disclosure, you guys weren't supposed to eat the pickles.
Really?
Yeah.
So he shoves a pickle
The
in my
pickles
mouth.
actually, I don't remember if they bite you or if they just have to hit you or something, but they attack you, and that's how you catch it. But you guys weren't going that route.
Yeah, we were like,
I
fuck
just
this,
shoved
we're
it in your
leaving.
mouth, bro.
As soon as we realized they were moving the jars, we were like, fuck this, we're out. But,
Wait,
what made you decide to shove a pickle into my mouth?
I just wanted to be a
That
dick.
way,
I honestly thought the only reason you did it was so that you could see what happens without doing it yourself, but the fact that your response is, I just wanted to be a dick, makes it worse.
Not even
Yeah.
trying
He's
to-
a pickle!
I just wanted to do it, bro. I was like, what if she's a pickle, bro?
But, like, because I was just an empty shell, I could not do anything about it. So he shoves this pickle basically down my throat. I turn into a pickle. I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to get anywhere now? He's like, don't worry, I got you. So he puts me in his pocket.
She's a pocket pickle!
So I text my friend. I was like, bro, I'm a pocket
There's
pickle. And
not-
I did not say anything else.
There's not a hole cut through here, if that's what you're wondering, bro.
No, but he did force a goblin to fellatiate her.
Yeah, this goblin. You tell him about that.
So, this Jerry Goblin comes up behind me and starts poking my booty hole. And I
With a sword.
didn't take too kindly to that. So I turn around and look this nigga dead in the eyes, and I'm just like, yeah, swallow this pickle, dog, and choke on it.
He shoved me down his throat, and I bit off his uvula.
And as he pulled it back out, man, bled to death.
It was great.
It was,
It was
awesome.
great.
It was great.
Almost not as good, but almost as good as teabagging into
The
a mimic's
door.
mouth. Which he did that again, except it wasn't a mimic this time. He teabagged the door again.
Yeah, but this time he got a crit one and bounced off nuts first.
Yeah, how about you go and tell the story about
It
how
was
that
like his
monster got
balls were made-
stuck inside the door?
Oh my god!
So, basically,
Because of you.
who was it that drew that card?
That's me.
Was it Skull? The skull?
Yeah.
So he drew the skull from the deck of many things, and what that does is it summons an avatar of death to fight you, and you have to fight it yourself. If anyone else joins in, they summon their own avatar, and they
This
have
is
to
why
fight
we don't
it.
help people.
So on and so forth. So this avatar shows up, and I mean, he's handling business. He had it down below half hit points in what, 2 attacks?
Yeah.
So he was handling his shit, but Dorian was getting bored. So he attacked it and summoned his own, and then tried to run away. So as he's running, this thing is chasing him. He kills his off. The other one gets to its full speed and ends up trying to phase through a door, but ends its movement in the door, which is bad juju for them. So, yeah, he basically just spent rounds in the door getting pulverized
Until
by
he was
force damage until he was nothing.
No, the funniest part to me.
Like, they open the door and he's just like,
The funniest part to me is when we got to the door, we opened it up and he just swung with it, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just finish this.
We came up
Burning
behind him
hands.
and he was like, "Step bro, is that you? You here to help?"
Oh, it's okay. The whole time they're fighting these fucking things, trying to, survive, I'm sitting here with Mr. Meeseeks playing rock, paper, scissors.
it's great. Oh yeah, the Meeseeks box got destroyed.
I was so damn mad. So, our player that got it the last time, Rob, was not here. So his character got killed off. And I was like, okay, I'm taking the fucking Meeseeks box. It's happening. I finally got the Meeseeks box. I got to use it one time to play rock, paper, scissors. And then when I went to use it again, a a dragon destroyed it, and I lost the V6 box. I was very upset. I almost cried a little bit.
Yeah. I would have too. Oh, I think I spent at least half of this game smiling maniacally.
Oh, Rob's character, actually, the whole reason he died is because the Meeseeks that he sent out came back because they couldn't finish their task and fucking slaughtered him.
Like, I'm sitting there picking up dice for a breath weapon, and I'm getting them all in my hand, and everyone's just like, stop, put them down. You don't need all those. And he's sitting there like, you're a piece of shit, you know that? I'm like, I'm not doing it. It's not me, it's the dragon. Be mad at him.
So now that you've played a little bit, what part are you still struggling with, and what part do you think you have like mastered?
I don't think any of us have mastered any.
Let me
Definitely,
rephrase.
yeah.
Which part do you think you're best at so far?
More comfortable with.
Yeah.
Knowing how to use my spells and stuff.
Yeah, he actually put a lot of work into his
Yeah,
spells.
he's very creative with his spells.
Oh,
He
yeah.
thought that out very well.
See, most people, and I have stuck by this thought process, is for most people, I think anyway, that your first time running, the easiest class to run for your first time, in my opinion, is like the fighter or the monk or the barbarian, you know, like a martial class. Simply because the more spells you have, the more shit you have to juggle and learn. But, oh, fuck. This dude,
You kind of like that.
right out the gate, ran was a fighter warlock.
Yeah. Demi-Lich.
Yeah, it was a fighter warlock multi-class demi-lich. And in my game, a demi-lich isn't just the skull, it's just like a lesser lich. But yeah, he picked it up like right out the fucking gate. If he had issues, he asked me, I explained it to him, he goes, oh, okay, and he fucking ran with it, and I love that. Fucking love that. Number one, ask questions, because you would not believe how many people have been playing the game wrong, or like unintentionally getting rules wrong for years because they just don't bother asking and correcting anyone. And then number two is, once you've got it, you think you've got an idea of how it's supposed to work, be fucking creative with it. And he did that, so.
And what part do you think think is the hardest for you that you need to work on?
Just like dice.
The dice.
Learning the dice. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of fucking dice.
There's a room.
Minutes.
There's a room in here.
You're off camera.
I shit you not. When you're reading through the mod, it's called the bathroom room. The bathroom room. And it's basically just a really nice public bathroom. That's all it is.
Not for long.
And he's looking around, and it's so nice, it's so clean, it's so white. And the toilets are spick and span, and he goes, I shit in the floor.
And got a wish.
The lucky shit, dog.
Now I have a question though, for you. Does that mean when we backtrack it to get the rest of the rooms, if we go through there and somebody shits in the floor again, we'll get another wish?
No. I don't even remember why you got that wish.
Oh no, Chase got it from messing with the toilet, and he gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did great with that one wish though. He was very smart about that.
What was it for again?
I don't remember what Chase got it for. It had something to do with the toilet, I think. But when
No, I'm pretty sure he flushed out a magic turd. That's where he got the wish.
yeah,
But what was his wish?
he wished to
know
know
where
where
the,
the wizard was. And
Yeah, that's
why
how he got the mental map.
mental map.
That's right. He got
And
a
he was
mental
able to
map.
guide us through the whole damn dungeon. I still say it would have been a huge game-ending scenario right there if he had wished to just teleport us to the wizard and the wizard get banished.
Yeah, but that's technically two wishes.
No, I'm saying if he would have wished to have our party teleported to where the wizard was, I already had banishment, and so did
Right, but
Rex.
there's no guarantee that it's gonna go off. He had 3 spells today not go off.
I'm saying it would have ended the game if it had worked that way.
Like in one of them, his banishment, he passed the roll. It's just they passed their save.
So just so you know, when you play this, don't do that, or else you'll piss off your DM.
Well, you can piss off your DM a lot. Here, there's what we can do. We can all sit here. We're gonna come up with one way, different way. Everyone has to come up with a different way. But one way players piss off DMs, and then once we all go through that, we're gonna go through one way DMs piss off players.
Can I ask for clarification? Are we talking about actual examples that we've done, or we've seen, or we know other people have done, or are we just
Something
talking about
that's happened in one of our games.
Okay.
No matter who has
like
done
a specific
Can I
example,
go
or
first?
just something
Yes.
vague?
Can I go first?
Specific.
Here's what we'll do. We'll state what it is and then give a specific example.
Okay.
Fair? Yes, you can go first. First off, one thing players do that DMs hate. And that it's something you've seen happen.
Interrupting while you talking to another player.
Perfect. You got an example from one of our games?
Like your son, I'm not trying to be mean. Like your son, like him, you trying to talk to one of us and him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did that a lot to me.
To be fair, he does that all the time.
Yeah, I think he's on the spectrum. But yeah, there was like, I don't know how many times tonight when I'm trying to talk to someone or work something out, it's Dad, well, Bub, come on, you gotta calm for a minute. Yeah, that's actually a really good one.
Just completely annihilating their whole game plan.
Example.
Nexus.
Is this the fucking Star Wars
It's
game?
the Star
again?
Wars game. He was running a Star Wars themed game, and there was this lightsaber that the main NPC that was with their party was using. That every time he used it, it made him like spaz out a little bit.
Corrupt him.
It would corrupt him and make him go more and more towards the dark side. Nexus saw this happening like way early on, took
Put
the
two and two
lightsaber
together.
and destroyed it, and fucking
My
Nitro.
entire
Well,
plot,
game's over.
my entire plot was wrapped around that. Yeah. I've learned since then to never base your entire campaign on one item. At least not unless that item is indestructible.
He didn't get his what DMs do to piss off
I know.
players.
We're going around and then back around.
Oh, okay.
Can you think of anything that a player's, like something you've seen tonight, that might piss me off as a GM? Or
Honestly,
get under my skin? That hasn't been named.
telling you just the base roll without adding on.
Good one.
Go ahead and give them your example. Tell them
I did it. Basically,
a lot.
I called my base one, and I kind of let it slide for a minute until I realized I didn't add on. And it
How
kinda-
many times did that happen?
I think I did at least 3. So I kind of.
Finally, I tell him, I was like, add it together. Don't, unless it's a 1 or a 20, don't tell me the number until you add.
And he's like, oh, 16. Okay, that missed. Wait, nope, 21. Okay, that hits. What the fuck?
Yeah. Please, if you played in one of my games, if it's D&D, if you don't roll a natural 1 or a natural 20, don't give me the base number. Give me the modified number.
And always specify if it's a 20. Specify if it's nat or dirty.
Yeah, natural or modified. Alright, let me think, because I've been DMing for 5 years now. Let me think.
Forever DM.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say when players are either on their phones or having side conversations that have nothing to do with the game, or jumping up and doing, or whatever they're doing, and missing vital information, and then expecting me to put the game on halt to re-explain everything.
Helps now that you got the timer.
This has happened to me, I don't know how many times, and my main culprit is one of my best friends. He was like, his character was killed tonight. That man, I swear to God, we will be mid-combat, and he's on a mobile game on his phone. And I'm like, Rob! And he goes, huh? What's going on? I'm like, I just told you. Oh, bro, I'm sorry, what? No. No, not
Tell
telling
them
me
how
again.
you fixed that problem about the phone.
With these.
Yeah,
Yeah, those things are
I
not
was
fun.
there that day.
These are penalty tokens.
Yeah, not fun.
Basically, if you fuck up in or out of character, bad enough, I try not to hand them out as much as possible. But if you fuck up bad enough, in my opinion, you will get one of these nifty little things, which I will cash in whenever I want, aside from death saves. I don't allow them to be used on death saves. That's cheap. Because you don't even
Or
get a
cancel them
modifier
out.
with those. Yeah, you can.
I said, or canceling them out.
Canceling what out?
You said you choose when they get cashed in. Other than death saves, I said, or canceling them out.
No, I still choose. Penalties are 100% me.
I meant when we cancel out with the inspiration.
Yeah, that doesn't. I'm not talking about that right
That's what
now. You're interrupting me.
I'm sorry.
Do you want one of these?
No, not again.
So, basically, at any time other than death saves that I decide, they have to hand me this, and they get either disadvantage on a roll, or if they're rolling with advantage, it cancels that advantage. That's what this does. It's basically the opposite of inspiration. And I have a rule where if you get 3 of those in one game, you're out of the campaign. Because honestly, if you're fucking up enough, you guys seen how rarely I hand those out. How many of those did I give out tonight?
I don't even think I got
You gave out 3 tonight, but it was 1 per person, and
It wasn't even about the game.
It wasn't even about the game. It was
And I didn't
because
even
your
make
lamp
you
got
really
broke.
use.
I
I
got
didn't
one.
even make you
Nope.
cash them in. So it was just
You
you
just, like-
talking shit.
Like, I canceled mine out with an inspiration the minute I got one.
Yeah, but like legit in this entire adventure, how many have I legitimately handed out?
None.
None. I don't think. You've handed out a lot of inspirations.
Yeah. I hand the penalties out as little as possible. Therefore, if you're acting up enough that you get 3 of those in a single session, I'm sorry, you're a toxic player and I don't need you at my table. It's that simple. I do not tolerate childish people at my game table. If you can't take it, yes, we're here to have fun, we're here to cut up, joke, and play a game, but if you can't take it seriously when it needs to be taken seriously, then I don't need you at my table. It's that simple.
Same
I
with
have
the newbies
booted
too, right?
many players from my table.
That rules for newbies too, right? Not
Yeah.
just experienced.
That
players.
rules for everybody. If you get 3 penalty tokens in one session, you're out of that campaign. It's happened to her. She got booted from.
I used to be a really bad player.
She played emotionally instead of logically.
I
Like,
met a game. I
anytime-
got fucking
anytime
pissy.
a,
I was bad.
Anytime a character would not coincide with what her character was doing or wanting, she would take it personally as an attack on her as a player, instead of realizing that that person is playing a different person. You know? Like, and it got to the point where I had 3 of my players tell me, if Jay plays, I will not. And one of my best players, actually left the group. Like, it was bad.
God damn.
So I had to sit her down and give her a wake-up call, basically. And you see how she plays tonight. She's come a long fucking way.
Like, after that, I spent quite a bit of time trying to catch myself and correct myself and work on it. And there's still a lot of things that I gotta work on.
Like, yeah, none of us are perfect. But compared to how you were when you first started playing, when I was running 3.5, to how you played tonight, you've come a long fucking way.
I think we all have, honestly.
Oh, dude, the first fucking time I ever ran was in 2017. 3.5, I was running a complete homebrew campaign, and it did not go well. I think it lasted maybe 3 sessions, and then I found Night Below, a module for Night Below for 3rd edition, and ran it with the 3.5 rules, and it fucking crashed and burned. I think actually I didn't run a full campaign all the way through until I did Tomb of Annihilation at Rob's, and that was a good 2 years into. I'd been running for like 2 years before I finished a full campaign. So like it's a learning. There's a long learning curve to it.
Tell them about Marcus's growth.
Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Go ahead. Something DMs do that piss off players, and then give an example of it from one of the games you've been in. So basically, what I'm wanting you to do is pick on me.
Okay. Like you're teaming up with the NPC and then you kill them off.
Oh. Oh, right.
Which NPC are you referring to? Is it from Fantasy High, your example? Because I think I might know. If it is, I think I know who you're talking about. Tracker? The werewolf girl? Yep. Now we're talking about things that GMs do that piss off the players.
Yeah.
He said teaming them up with an NPC just to kill them. And I distinctly remember playing Fantasy High, introducing Tracker, her and Strife's character building a relationship, a romantic relationship, and then during the final battle, she died. Which, I did not plan for that. She was actually supposed to be a big part of Season 2, but she got killed.
You know what popped in my head when you said that? AJ and the kid. That one you did
Ethan.
plan.
No, I didn't plan it at all.
I thought you did.
I did not plan for him to die, but once I saw that it would fit, I knew it would fuck with AJ, which is why I did. So we were running a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, Star Beyond the Shore, or something like that. And basically, these people are trying to summon Cthulhu. And they failed to stop the ritual, and Cthulhu was summoned. And throughout the entire, it took, I think, 2 12-hour sessions to play through this one adventure. And it was toward the end of the campaign. And they had met this kid named Ethan, Big E, is what he called himself. He's like 13, but he's got Down syndrome.
That was the one by the water, right?
Yeah.
The deep one.
Yeah, where you turn cultist.
Yeah.
So the kid's got Down syndrome, so he's like a little kid mentally, right? So he's got a little brother that treats him like he's the little brother. And AJ immediately built a bond with this kid, like hired him for jobs, took him out on the road with him, like really took the kid under his wing, you know, and built a connection with him. And then toward the end of it, Cthulhu's flying around, and the boy was on the boat on his way to the island where the cult was to fucking play. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you see this big fucker swoop down, grab that boy out of the boat. And as you look off, his head drops in front of you. And AJ immediately stands up, looks at me in the face, and goes, "Fuck you, Drew!" And I was like, I didn't do it. Cthulhu did.
It's Cthulhu, dog.
But it was the greatest reaction.
Like all you
ever.
see is the tears.
Bro, I did so much, bro, for nothing.
Okay, something DMs do that players hate, and then one example from one of your games.
Okay. Encouraging you to make a decision with, like, when you stop as a player and you're like, well, what if I do this? I wonder what would happen. And they're like, oh yeah, go ahead and do it. and start encouraging you to do said decision,
Oh, when they know it's gonna fuck you over.
knowing that when you do,
That's not funny.
they get to fuck you over big time.
Do you know why we do that? Before I even let you get to your example, because I know you're talking about me. Do you know why we do that?
To teach us a lesson, I'm guessing.
No. It's because we spend hours upon hours prepping this adventure, and you guys throw it to the fucking wolves in 20 seconds.
So it's your
So
payback.
every once in a while, we're like, oh, okay, you fucked my game. Time to fuck yours.
Alright, I got you.
Okay, so what specific moment do you want to bring up?
Oh my god.
Because I know I've done it. I did it to him today.
That's what I was thinking of.
I mean, it fits in. We're talking about tonight's session.
What was it he was doing?
Oh, fuck.
It was that big, giant, what's the one with the lightning and the what?
Yes! The Baylor.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Me and him,
He
the
couldn't decide whether or
newbie.
not to fight the Baylor.
The
And I
newbie was
was-
telling him, "Don't fucking do it. We're
Yes.
gonna get fucked over."
And I was just like, hey, you got this. You're a badass. You can do it.
And he said, "They're like, yeah, you know, I am a bat. They don't know me. You've seen what I can do." And he does it.
well,
So he takes, like, how many dice was it that you walked over to the Tower of Doom with?
Yeah.
Oh, for the damage on that?
As soon as he decided that he was doing that, and you were like, okay, and you walked over to the Tower of Doom.
Yeah, I took
And the
what
box
I
of
would
doom.
need to roll his attacks, and what I would need to roll the damage for said attacks if they hit. Basically, I had two handfuls, and I had to hold the dice in my shirt.
And as soon as it happened, and he was like, oh shit. We both looked at him and was like, we fucking told you, bro. So the next time we were somewhere and he was like, well, what if I do this? And we're like, don't do it. He's like, you know what? No. Because he was like, you can do it. Nope. I remember.
I know you pretty much only have, like, today to go off of, but what's something that I did as a dungeon master that kind of pissed you off?
I'm thinking about that, dog.
He's like, I don't know.
He's
It's
like,
fun.
there's so much to
Okay, so
choose
like,
from.
it's not really the matter of like you did something to piss me off because like I know you're just going by the fucking rules, but it's like
He's already getting heated.
when I saw you go over that fucking bucket, homie, and pulled out so many fucking dice, I was like internally like,
You know,
this,
Well, see, the
what
real
made it
jackass
worse-
thing was the grin.
Yeah.
this- I was about to say this man is taking pleasure out
Yes.
of it, dog.
what made it worse is I walk over there and I had already had like 8 dice in my hand.
We were already.
But it
on
wasn't
shit.
enough. So I was sitting there and I was just like, and I was like, hey, look.
No, the grin you had, deadass, you looked like the people from fucking Truth or Dare.
I look like the cringe.
You were sitting there legit getting your dice like this.
Fucking staring in our
And we were,
souls.
he literally, jackass, stop!
So listen, homie, you need to chill the fuck out.
Oh,
I gotta
great.
do all that, bro.
Alright, let me think of one now.
Oh, I've got one.
You already did.
Oh, dang. You did too.
I didn't know.
They did.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
you were
did.
talking about,
Things we do that y'all hate.
oh,
It's
I
my
thought you
turn.
already did that. That's my bad.
No, I
I
didn't
thought
do
you were
that.
talking about questions.
I'm gonna say making them roll for things that you know for a fact they have no chance of succeeding at. If you guys noticed, there was a few times tonight when I was like, don't even roll, it's not even a possibility.
Yeah.
And the reason I did that is because when I first started DMing, I was always told, you know, you can't let the players know anything until after the rules are made. Right? So if someone says they wanted to do something, I didn't want to tell them, no, you can't do that. It was always rule of cool. So I was like, yeah, roll for it. And then whatever they get, nope, not enough.
Right.
And it pissed them off a lot. So finally I got to the understanding where now it's like, you know what? If they just can't do something, tell them. they will probably appreciate not wasting a pretty high roll on something that wouldn't have fucking worked anyway.
Yeah. Because when you're wanting to do something,
I still did. I did it to him once tonight.
What?
I'm gonna bring it up. I did it to him once tonight, but that's because he just wouldn't let it go.
What?
I forget what it was. You want to do something, and I kept like putting a hint out there that like I was trying to suggest other things.
Oh, I know what it was.
What?
The mage.
When you
Because
went to
it
that
said
20?
no, because it said right when the mage was talking, he said, you have to defeat me, but you can't harm me. And he was like, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this.
Right, and I kept telling him, I was like, you can't. And he's like,
probably won't work.
And I was, and I was like, all right, well, he's dead set. I'll let him roll. And he got the nat 20. He was so excited, and I was like, bro, it doesn't work. And he just like it looked like he died a little inside. Like he looked like this. And I was like, it's in the book, man. He can't be harmed by any type of damage, magic or otherwise.
Right. Now, I get
it
that.
sucks, but that's why, like I said, I normally try to be like, if it's not gonna work, it's just not gonna work.
Which I appreciate, because as a player, when you get, which it's happened a few times when you had us roll for it because you didn't know how the outcome would be.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a player and you have this game plan, you're like, this is gonna be badass, this is gonna be my awesome moment, and you're really excited to do something, and it just doesn't fucking work.
What's worse is you get that high roll, you get that 18, you get that 19, that nat 20 in his case. But since the DM didn't tell you ahead of time, look, it's not going to work no matter what you get, you wasted that high roll.
Right.
And now you feel like, well, why the fuck didn't you just tell me that? I wouldn't have rolled.
Exactly. She hasn't.
Oh my god, it's not like that.
It's from, it's from the minis.
Yeah, I appreciate you telling us ahead of time. I get where you're coming from, but that probably, and you always say probably because you don't want to tell us how the things are. But he'll tell you up front. If you say, well, can I do this? He'll be like, well, probably won't work, but you can try if you want to. And that's kind of his hint as to like, dude, it's way too high for you to make. Don't even try. Don't waste your time.
Don't waste your rolls.
Yeah.
Because nothing compares to the Chaos Factor dice. So what was your favorite battle from the night? We had
I'm not gonna lie, the last one was just fucked. That shit was
a lot of the more challenging combats.
Honestly, the one where I put my bone saw between that man's jaws and just pulled.
Yeah, that was dumb. I think mine would probably be when the Meeseeks slaughtered Cat. That was pretty cool.
They all just surrounded that man. Obliterated him, bro. Not a chance.
Oh, he was done.
As soon as I came in, you're like, all
look
right,
at me.
Mr. Meeseeks is on a fucking mission, bro.
And they failed that mission. They had to purge. The greatest suspenseful moment from tonight's game.
Honestly, that last fight.
Yeah.
That last fight got me, dude. I was like, it is taking forever to kill these niggas. We were all fucking up, not getting higher rolls, bro.
She almost died. He did die.
Yeah, I got down to what?
We were doing so good, and that last boss came up and was folding us, bro.
Yeah.
We was rocking and rolling until we got there.
Your opinion, most in your opinion, other than the one he already named, most suspenseful moment from tonight's game, or even from
the
part
one he
one
named
of this
was the last boss fight.
Yep.
Okay.
From the entirety of the dungeon since you played it.
Okay. The clock puzzle room. Because it was counting down and it kept starting over at a lower time. And we were all panicking thinking we was going to die, like the walls was going to close in or something.
What the fuck was going to happen.
We were trying to solve this puzzle but rushed through it at the same time because we were on a timer, and everything we did to try and stop the timer made it worse.
Basically, what that is there's this room, and when you go in there, there's like this little panel on the floor that opens up, and this digital clock comes up. Right?
Yeah.
And what it started at,
What?
like,
Where they at?
What?
Where they at?
In the living room?
I think it started like with 60 seconds.
Yeah, and
And
then it
then-
went to 50.
Yeah.
And then
So
40.
they start tinkering around trying to figure something out, and then it starts over at 50. So they try to do another, and it starts over at 40. And they're just like, what
And
the
like,
fuck
we were
is
being
gonna happen?
creative too. We were trying
Right.
to figure we were like, okay, well, what if we do this? You know, like, we were coming up with some creative shit, in my opinion.
Like, they were freaking the fuck out. But the best part, it gets down to the 10-second timer, and I'm counting down out loud at this point. And they are fucking panicking. They are frantic. And then it gets to 0, and I'm like, look at you motherfuckers running around like chickens with your head cut off. This ain't even a puzzle. Get to the next room. Like,
Doors
nothing,
open up, we're good to go.
Nothing happens. Nothing. It was great.
I was pissed.
Just to see him run around.
That's another thing DMs do that pissed me off. They set you up to think something's happening or think something's
Dude,
gonna
I'm
happen.
sorry, with all I control it.
Just
it's
to
tempting,
fuck with
bro.
your brain. I mean,
I
that
bet you
that
it's
sounds
tempting.
right. The DM is God.
Hey, you remember the statue?
Fuck you. That fucking. You weren't here for that. We got to this room full of statues. And,
Of Rick, mostly.
Yeah.
Except one.
And so it kind of caught me off guard that, you know, I expected all of them to be Rick, but one of them wasn't. And I don't remember what it said originally. Something that was vaguely along the lines of, like, ignore this statue or
Yeah,
something
they said,
else.
don't worry, I'm not a person turned to stone. I'm just a really interesting statue.
So I took that as, okay, this is trying to, like, throw me off. Something's gonna happen with this statue. I need to investigate this statue. So I was like,
Here,
The-
I'll read the text boxes.
yeah,
On the
I asked him if
podcast.
it said anything else, so he read a different one. And I was like, I'm gonna investigate this statue. So he's like, okay, roll it. So I rolled the investigation, and I got, like, what, a 19? And I was like, hell yeah, you know this. And he goes,
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Quit wasting time. Pick a door and go. Flip a coin if you have to. Just pick a direction. It's not rocket science. What are you going to do? Spend the whole night standing in here with a statue? You need to pick a door and go. This is like the third fucking room we don't have all day. That's what the fuck it says. Word for
Let me
word.
see it. Yup.
Word for word.
And it pissed me off so bad. I looked at him and I said,
She
so
says,
you let me waste time thinking that this is some kind of, like, test or something.
I was told to.
And he just laughed and went, yup.
Yup. Doing it. In your opinion, other than the clock and the
Take it to the
final
couch.
boss,
Take the movie,
What
Kira. Tell her you want
do
to
you
watch it.
think was the most suspenseful moment of this entire adventure? Like the moment where you were like on the edge of your seat, didn't know if it was going to go good or bad, but you were intense about it. Like you felt where everything hung in the balance.
Nico's committing suicide.
You failing to commit suicide? He wanted to jump into a floor mimic.
Tell them why.
Because he died, so I had him take over another character who had very shitty stats. But it was the only one we had at the appropriate level.
His exact quote to me was, man, these stats suck. I'm gonna kill myself.
So he wants to jump into the mouth of this mimic that is a floor. And just to be a dick, I made him roll for it. And he rolled 5.
No, he rolled a 1.
No,
No, it's
he
fine.
rolled a 5.
Thought it was. When did he roll the 1?
That was not trying to kill himself. That was trying to do something badass when he got wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You still made him do the fumble table, though.
Yeah.
Not on jumping.
No,
into
it
the
wasn't.
mouth.
It was on the one when I turned into
You
that
mix up a
thing.
lot of things.
Wasn't it the percentiles that made the tongue flicking back in the
No.
wall?
No.
Or was that just you being a dick?
That was just him failing by 5 or more.
Okay.
According to rules as written, 5e, if you fail by 5 or more, something extra happens, whether it be good or bad.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, he rolled a 5. So, like, he failed to kill himself. How do you fail to commit suicide?
All he had to take was 2 steps, dog. That
He
was
didn't even
it.
have to jump. All he had
Right.
to do was stand on the edge and lean.
Right, but he specifically said he jumped in.
And did a flip.
But the thing is, he jumped, and when he come out that flip, that tongue was wailing around because the thing was on fire. It was in pain, so as he's coming down, the tongue hits him, and he flies across the fucking room. It just takes damage, but it's still alive. And he's like, shit! Oh, it was great.
Boy got done dirty.
It's funny as fuck, though.
Man, Dwayne got picked on hard tonight. I
I
feel so
remember
bad
what
for him. He's a
mine
good
was.
sport.
I remember what my topic was.
What is that?
Okay, so I brought this topic up before, but it was in the one we did with Nexus that we had to scratch. And I'm making it specific for this game.
Okay.
So, your favorite succession and your favorite failure, like critical failure, by any player, including yourself.
Alright, how about we go from youngest to oldest? Nope.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forget he is that young sometimes because of how mature he is.
So,
Feels special.
what was your favorite
don't.
epic
Fuck you.
success
I only
of
remembered
this
how
session?
young you
Or
were.
of this
I got
adventure?
excited that I was older than.
2 years on. Don't trip.
Something.
What is 5 months old when you interrupted in my face? I don't want to hear it.
The multi attack when I was attacking the dragon.
As the pit fiend?
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Yeah, that was his comeback moment.
Oh yeah.
Because he had been getting creamed for like a good 2 to 3 hours.
And then that happened, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, back in my element."
happened.
Died resurrected. The
He
money
started
died, yeah.
wailing on him. Alright, your favorite epic failure from this adventure. Not necessarily what you did, but somebody failing in this adventure. That was just awesome or funny or whatever. And you can't say failing to kill yourself because that was already said.
Because I try and pick stuff that makes even me think about it.
Yeah.
Or somebody fell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when she failed to grab me when I was in that ball. And,
Yes. So that's how you died, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You threw in
I
that
just wanted to
penalty.
leave. I just wanted to leave, walk out of the house,
This
and
is
just
what
cry.
he had got trapped in that
That's what
orb,
the
like we
hell
were saying earlier. He got trapped in this orb, and when they finally got to him, it was 8 hours later because again, when he went on his own and got trapped, they were taking a long rest. So by the time they got there, he had been trapped in this thing for 8 fucking hours. And he was just like, I'm fucking done. Fuck this. They got there and no one was trying to get him out. She had mentioned it a couple times, but no one actually did anything. So he's just sitting there, not playing. And then
The
she's
mimic
like,
mouth.
alright, I'm going to fly down there. She had polymorphed into a young white dragon.
And
And
the
she's
mouth
like,
had just opened up on
yeah.
the floor.
And she's like, I'm going to fly down there and grab it. And then I believe you got the one.
No, I got 3 2s, and it happened like that because your son was riding on my back.
And then I threw in
And
And he goes,
thing
here,
happened.
put this in there.
I was like, yo, that corner of that table is right on that mimic part. He's gonna end up, if that table tips, he's done for. Nobody has helped him like I suggested. So I'm gonna fly down, I'm gonna scoop him up with my claws. And he's like, okay, roll. So I rolled a 2. And I was like, shit. And his son's like, let me help. I was like, oh yeah, help action. He's like, okay, we'll say he's navigating. So we rolled both of them. It was at disadvantage.
It was that advantage.
Advantage.
That's what the help action
Yeah,
does.
it was at advantage, and both of them were 2s. The same exact thing I just rolled.
And then
So he's like, hey, let me cash in this penalty, and it'll cancel out, but you'll still get another roll. So it's like, fuck it. Rolled it, and that was the crit one.
So she goes to scoop him up, misses horribly, bumps the table, and he just rolls into the mouth.
He got mad at me. I looked up. I said, "You're the one who threw in the penalty."
That's wonderful.
Misses and knocks his ass into it, bro.
Okay. You favorite success from this adventure?
Gosh.
From any PC.
Probably from my fighter. His first attack on I can't remember what enemy it was, but it was the first time he actually got into fight, and it was his very first turn, and he gets that multi-attack with his spear
Shield,
and his shield, and I told him, okay, we're gonna go spear, shield, spear. So he hit him with his spear, and he damaged him. He gets him with the shield, prones him because of the damage he receives, and then just spear, boom, right through the head. I thought that was pretty badass.
Favorite failure?
Oh. Trying to think. Because most of them really good.
I know we were
ones
supposed to
have
do
been
him first, but but you were right here.
just on record, we said youngest to oldest. I am older than him.
Yeah. It's like when you're really high and you pass the blunt the wrong way. We just fucked up the rotation. That's all.
There was,
A lot. Of
yeah,
ones.
and most of them we've said.
I don't know.
Can't think of any.
Okay, I know it has been said, but it honestly is my favorite.
Okay.
When he tried to teabag the door down again. Because, I mean, it's like
Was
his,
that one?
it's like his nuts turned into bouncy balls.
Oh, bro.
Because he, like, say this is the door, this is his nutsack, he went, boing!
I
He
got
took
blue
some ball
balls.
damage.
Yeah, he
too.
smashed his nuts pretty
Yeah,
good.
his shit's swollen. He's walking all bow-legged for a little bit. You. Favorite success and favorite failure. Can be one of your roles, her roles, his roles.
Trying to think. Because we have fucking said a lot of them.
Yeah.
Honest to God. Show me that pickle down there, dog. Just go down. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was dope.
That was absolutely fucking diabolical.
I
Choke on
guarantee you,
this.
when I told you I was running this week, never did you think you would kill a guy with a pickle.
No.
A living pickle
Yeah,
at
get it
that.
straight. He killed him with meat. Come on now. At least you told me ahead of time.
Favorite failure.
Oh.
Hi, baby. Hey, let's
Honestly, does it count whenever I turned her into a pickle?
No, because that was a success on your part. It
It
was
was
a failure on her
my part,
so
so you can
maybe.
count it as my failure.
Yeah,
So
so
was her failure?
her failure, letting me force feed her a fucking pickle because she had the option to fucking not eat it, dog.
I really didn't. There was nothing I could do.
I mean, in all fairness,
The only thing I could have done is attack you, and I was trying to keep from the PvP because he had specifically asked
yeah.
to keep down the PvP.
Like every once in a while, if it makes sense for the plot or the storyline, that's cool. But if it gets to be too much, it ends up to where you're just sitting here and all the players are pissed at each other instead of having fun together.
Yeah.
So I try to keep PvP to a minimum. But yeah, that was great. That was great. Favorite failure? Let me think of a very, because there's, again, so many different.
She was trying to clean while I got the stuff out. A little drink, so.
Shit, this is actually a hard one.
Exactly.
I got a thing about the failures. Okay, I'm gonna go with your banishment spell. Because, like, he was so hard ass about it. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna banish that motherfucker. I was like, alright, roll with it. He's like, yeah, and it does this little thing and it just doesn't work and it goes everywhere. It's like, oh shit. Yes. Like, nothing is more embarrassing for a spellcaster than to go into casting some badass spell using some badass words as an incantation and then it just doesn't work. You know? It just, the spell just doesn't get off.
What? Excuse me, bro?
And that's one of the reasons why I make people roll for all this, because there's rules is written. There's a bunch of spells that don't require a roll at all. It just happens. But with the martial classes, like the barbarians and the fighters and the monks, and, you know, they have to roll for whatever the fuck they want to do. And I don't think it's fair that spellcasters don't. And there's plenty of times like you can watch like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings when people go to cast a spell and it doesn't get off. It doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So not only is it more fair, but it adds to the realism if I make you roll to cast spells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're not gonna have the fucking juice. You know? Sometimes you're wore the fuck out. It takes energy.
That was a long fucking session.
Oh, that's normal for us.
Yeah.
First one was almost 11 fucking hours.
Now, granted, a typical RPG group might run for 4 or 5 hours. Our normal sessions is what normal groups would consider a marathon.
You settled down.
Like, I was watching Seth Gorkowski, by the way. Again, not sponsored, but subscribe to Seth Gorkowski. He's fucking awesome.
Pretty sure you tell them that in every episode.
Probably. I love that guy
I'm gonna
so
go back
much.
and I'm gonna do a whole video on tallying how many times you recommend people, especially him.
Oh shit, we could have like it's a non-sponsor counter?
Yeah.
Fuck, where was I going with this?
Seth Gorkowski.
Gorkowski?
Gorkowski.
Scorecast.
Thank you. Been saying it wrong all
Right,
these
but
years.
what the fuck was I about to talk about?
You had just mentioned that the amount of time that we play would be a marathon
Yes.
amount.
Yes. So I was watching him do his
Go lay down. The cat does not want you.
review of the Two-Headed Serpent campaign, which
Pause.
spoiler is the next Cthulhu campaign we're going to be running.
Yeah.
And I was watching his review of it, and he's talking about how their group completed the last 2 chapters in half a session. And fucking Jack the NPC cuts in, he goes, whoa, hang on. You need to tell them exactly how that played out. Because you say half a session, they're going to think that means 1 to 2 hours. And they're like, no, we knocked it out in a single 12-hour gaming marathon. And I'm like, that's a normal session for us.
Right.
That's about how long we run. So we apparently have super long sessions, but to us it's normal.
Like,
you know?
you hear that, and what I think of.
Like, if you ever hear someone say, man, we ran a gaming marathon, tell them, oh, so a session?
Like,
Punk?
every time we talk about that, in my head, what I think of is that scene from the very first episode of season 1 of Stranger Things, and I picture when Mike is talking to his mom, it's an R group stamp above his head, and then everyone else above his mom. How was I supposed to know it'd take 11 hours? You've been playing for 11 hours? Like, that's normal.
It is for us.
How long have we played today? Like 12, 13 hours?
About 12. No, about 11 if you take out all the sidebars.
Yeah.
About 11. So yeah, Stranger Things. That's us.
No, yeah.
Does that mean Mike?
Ironically, isn't that the next one shot we're doing after we
Yes, it is.
go back and double do all the rooms?
Yes, it is. Hunt for the Thessal Hydra from Stranger Things.
That's
However, I need to make sure I still have the mini for that because it's a paper mini.
yeah. I love how big of an impact D&D has on that show.
Oh yeah. I also love how much of an impact fucking Lovecraft has on that show. Because I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. My favorite to date tabletop RPG is Call of Cthulhu.
I like it
I'm a
better.
big horror guy. I love horror, and something about being able to do what we do in a horror setting is just fucking amazing. I love the sanity mechanic. I love the luck mechanic. I love the fact that you can dodge attacks coming at you. You can't really do that in D&D unless you have like certain feats or something.
After we finish those 2 Cthulhu campaigns, because he does 2 and 2 and he goes back and forth.
Yeah.
We finished that second Cthulhu campaign and we jumped back to D&D. And all of us were getting so tripped up, he'd be like, okay, so, you know, the slot is attacking you by doing this. And we're like, okay, can we dodge? Dodge isn't in D&D. Fuck!
No, if they hit your armor class, you're getting hit. You don't have the option.
Right.
Whereas in Call of Cthulhu, as long as it's a melee attack, anytime they attack you, you always have the option to either take the hit, dodge the attack, or fight back.
Right.
And I love that.
You don't get fighting back either. You have to wait till your
I love
turn.
how more realistic it is as far as like hit points and shit goes. I love how story focused and mature it is. But yeah, Call of Cthulhu is as of this video, my all-time favorite tabletop role-playing game.
And that really makes you think about like the diversity in our group too, because I noticed we sat down, we asked that question one day, you know, who likes what better, and you know, like half the group preferred D&D because of the fighting and the combat, and half of us preferred Cthulhu. Like for me, it was because of, you know, like you said, the horror, but also the role play and the investigation, because I love combat centered around a story.
That I know you don't mean it the way I'm about to say, but that's one of my pet peeves is someone that combat versus role play, because combat is role play.
Right.
You don't stop acting like your character when initiative is rolled. You know what I mean? If you're saying I'm swinging a sword, you are not sitting at my table swinging the sword. You're narrating what your character is doing. That's role play. When people say role play, what they mean is social interaction. The talky bits. Right. As Luke Hart from VMware would put it, the talky bits. He's another one of my favorite online channels. Not sponsored. Subscribe to the VMware. Luke is fucking amazing.
I'm gonna make a meme of you with hashtag not sponsored on it.
I say that a lot.
No, like, just to elaborate for them, what I meant was, you know, like, I prefer to investigate and get to the bottom of a plot instead of having a hack and slash.
Right.
But we also have a lot of murder hobos in our group that prefer the hack and slash dungeon crawls.
A lot of video gamers.
Yeah.
I play video games.
But we also have a couple of people who want to be the only ones to do anything awesome.
Mary Sue's. They have to be perfect.
Well, not so much perfect as if there's something badass that can be done or something that's going to save everybody, they have to do it.
Well, I mean, every group's got one of those.
Yeah. But all of our players, you know, have come a long way.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure every single one of you have pulled off a badass save our skins moment at least once in every campaign.
Like
I'm
Marcus.
sure of it.
I loved it. He literally sacrificed his character. Was like, here, take this to my son, and then
And
ran
that
in
was
and
his
blew
first
himself
fucking
up.
character he ever played
Mhm.
with me.
And blew himself up, sacrificed himself for
To
the good
save
of the
the
party,
group. Yeah.
and for the good of the world, really, in that campaign.
Oh yeah. But back onto the adventure we're supposed to be talking about.
I meant to say,
He still won't stop calling.
bring him here.
We've gone on a lot of tangents, but the point of that one was to say that Stranger Things takes from D&D and Call of Duty, which are actually the two main games we play. We also play Cyberpunk Red, but that's more of if we're burnt out on one of our main games, we'll run that. Because I like it, but it's not one of my favorite games. I love the system, I love the concept, but I get more into horror and fantasy than I do sci-fi. But it is. I will say this, and Dwayne can back me up. Cyberpunk Red is fucking perfect for zombie games. Perfect. Like, you can't ask for a better system for zombie games. And this guy can attest to that. How is Time of the Dead going? Our Zombie game. With Rob. Remember he blew up your girlfriend? In a mall. He was a cop. Murdered his girlfriend in a shopping mall, and guess what he said 2 seconds after she was blown to bits to his face?
You're welcome.
Oh!
And didn't understand why his character pulled a gun on him.
Yeah, he took off.
Yeah, so then he rounded up all the fucking guns that they had, jumped into AJ's helicopter, and booked it.
Yeah.
Leaving them in the mall with holes in the walls that he created with grenades while the zombies are flooding in.
That's awesome.
I'm like, dude, you just fucking dipped out on everybody, leaving them to die.
I have a topic question for you, DM.
Alright.
Alright, so my question for you is, what is, and if you can, I'd like to hear one for, like, each of your players, if you can.
Okay.
At least us, if not, the group. What is one thing that one of us has done that has fucked up a plan of yours or made you have to redo something? Like,
this should be easy. His might not be so easy because he's only had one session with me, and he really didn't throw me off guard too much. So I'll have to think about that. Him killing Daybreak, that fucked me quite a bit in Fantasy High. Because as I stated, Daybreak was supposed to be a reoccurring villain that kind of gets assed out the window when you shoot a guy in the face.
oh yeah.
At point blank range.
He didn't shoot him.
Yes, he did. He shot him in the dick, and then he shot him in the face.
Oh yeah, I did.
That's right. I remembered the penis.
He had a fucking magic pistol, shot him in the with it, and then got this close. Yeah, he's dead. He's fucking dead. That was his football coach. I'm sorry, his blood rush coach.
He's staring at you with the nitro.
Hi, Bubby. What you doing, little man? You wait till you get big enough to play with dice. So,
soon I'm gonna be playing too.
yeah, so you Merkin Daybreak fucked me up quite a bit.
Oops.
I had to come up with a new fucking partner for Calvaxis and everything. Yeah, it was Penelope. You remember how she made a comeback in the gym with Dane? Yeah, she was. Her big villain thing was supposed to be at that pool party. And she was supposed to be done after that, but you marked Daybreak, so I had to figure something out. So I brought her back. You So much, so much, so much. I could nitpick about a lot of little things, but I gotta find one that you say actually fucked up my plans. Ugh, excuse me. Okay. Are you ready? Bloodkeep. Talking Annie into crowning the baby instead of resurrecting Zalnaj.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yes.
Yeah, when we did Bloodkeep, Annie's character was pregnant by our leader, because that was like her old man.
Yeah.
Well,
He was closeted, yes.
well,
He was into
He
Marcus's
died.
character.
the good guys killed him. We were the evil monsters, and the good guys killed him. And what was supposed to happen, according to his notes, was we were supposed to resurrect him so that he could take over again, you know. But instead, Annie was like just had her baby, like right then, and I was like, "This is perfect. We have his bloodline. Let's just continue his bloodline and crown your
You
son."
want to know how she fucking got through? Because at first she was like, "No, he's my man." You want to know how she did it? Because they had seen a memory that they weren't supposed to see of Zalnaj talking to one of his people about a crush he had on Marcus's character. And so she's like, "See? He's your man, but he's perving on this guy." And so Eddie's like, "Fuck him."
I was like, "At least if your son is king, you will be queen and make decisions for him until he is old enough to." And she's like, "You're right, I could get some shit done." I was like, "Yeah." So we ended up, the crown that we got, we placed on the baby, and he became
The
ruler.
new Lord of Shadows, yeah. So
You know what I thought you were going to bring up?
Huh.
Fantasy High.
Which part?
The emo kid instead of Tracker.
Zane?
Yeah.
No, because that was saved, because I still was able to bring Tracker in. That, I think, fucked with you more than anything, because I introduced Zane knowing he was going to die. Knowing he was going to be pulled into the shit.
Marcus's girl
Yeah.
was supposed to be my girlfriend. She was supposed to be a lesbian character.
Yeah.
He put her in as my love interest. But when we were at school on the first day, he brought up this NPC named Zane, this emo guy. And I was like, "Okay, that's my love interest. I want that dude."
Now,
You
I
know?
didn't want to take that from her. It's her character, her life, her story. So I was like, okay, how the fuck am I going to bring Tracker in? And I was like, Marcus doesn't have a girlfriend. How can you do a game about your first year of high school and not have a love interest at least planned for every character?
Yeah.
Now, was Riz meant to be her love interest?
Riz was planned. He was going to hit on whichever one of y'all gave him the time of day first.
Oh, even me?
No,
Yeah, and because of my
female-wise.
character,
Oh.
I was kind of shitty towards him at first.
Annie's character was easygoing and nice to people, so he was able to get a little further with her, and then she actually went out and gave him a chance and got to know him, and he's actually not a bad guy.
Now, who was meant to be her love interest?
Hopefully Riz, but I didn't know for sure if it was going to pop up.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, when we first met Riz, because my character's personality at the very beginning was very, "Get the fuck away from me, I want to do my own thing, I don't like people, you're not going to know my name," kind of person. So when we met Riz...
Now it's, "You're not going to know my name."
When we met Riz and he was like, "Hello," I was just like, "Can you get the fuck away from me?"
Like, no.
Like that, you're
He's
fucking
like,
gross.
I'm sorry. No, just no. Just no.
I think that's exactly what
It
I
was.
said. Just a plain no.
He's just so confused. He's like, what? Just no.
He got so sad. And then he met Annie and he was fine.
His was missing most of the campaign.
I mean, he had a love interest from jump, but he just didn't actually have her. Like
He had girls Zelda come up to him a couple times and he turned her down.
Well, like, if your wife was missing, would you be trying to hit it with a chick?
How many times have you said he played that character perfect?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I actually,
Punched.
my bad. He hasn't actually fucked with me yet. I say yet, give it time. It'll happen. And he won't even know when he's doing it. That's the worst part about it. Because they thought they were supposed to kill Daybreak. He's the bad guy who was trying to
He
kill them
initiated
and open a
combat.
portal to
Usually
hell.
when somebody is a bad guy to initiate combat, you're supposed to fucking kill them. Basically, Fantasy High, we ran, what, 5 sessions? Posted over there?
Yeah.
Those are our characters from Fantasy High. The elephant is Dorian over here. The bottom left one, the Tiefling, that's me. The blue Dragonborn is his old lady. The red Dragonborn is that Marcus guy we were talking about. And the fairy is his wife, Annie, our cousin. But we all started as freshmen at this adventuring school, kind of like a D&D version of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
But more similar to a regular high school. Fucking funny as hell. First day of school, they're handing out this jock and his cheerleader girlfriend are at the front of the school. They're handing out these flyers, and so we go up. It's a petition thing to bring back County King and Queen, right?
Yep.
And so we go up. They're handing each of us one. And I kind of just took mine and walked in. He comes up, and she's like, "Here you go." Tells him what it is. He takes it, balls it up, and tosses it right into her face.
Oof.
So her jock boyfriend, who's standing there,
And who's a senior.
yeah, if you're a senior in high school on the football team, Captain, thank you. Captain of the football team, standing next to your girl, and somebody throws something into her face.
Didn't have to get smacked up.
What did he do? He punched him, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he decked him.
He decked him,
Right in the trunk.
and he fucking started waylaying on him, and they got caught by Eggfort, wasn't it? No.
No, it was Golden Horde.
Hey, I got my
Yeah,
legs
Golden
back.
Horde.
I'm not gonna lie, I got my legs
And
back.
Oh yeah, he pummeled his ass the next day.
so he got detention. Well, we go to orientation, and after orientation, during orientation, they had mentioned about the restricted area of the library. So I'm like, I at this point, my character was trying to figure out who her father was. All she knew was he was a devil.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, restricted area. Maybe it's got some, dark-ish information on like devils and shit that I can figure out. There was only one book, so I like mage handed it because they wouldn't let me check it out because it was restricted. And I got caught by the fucking vice principal.
She got paddled because
The one
she
who I
refused to
said
give it
from
back.
I said from jump I didn't like him. He gave me a bad fucking vibe. This dude grabbed me and he was like getting on to me, and I cussed him out. So he took this fucking paddle that he carried around and busted my ass with it, and had Marcus take the book to the office. Well, he kept it, but so
Well, he was supposed to take
yeah,
it.
he got detention. I got paddled in detention, and I'm throughout the rest of the fucking campaign. Every time this dude comes up, I'm like, I hate this motherfucker. I cussed him out multiple times, and then at the very end,
Bless you.
Goodness.
when he turned out to be who he was, I looked at the group and I was like, I fucking told y'all he was a piece of shit. You believe me now, motherfuckers?
What? All he did was send his lackeys to set your homes on fire with your parents inside.
And, try to destroy the world.
No, he didn't want to destroy the world. He wanted to rule it.
And he killed Eggfort.
Yeah, he killed Eggfort.
And tried to kill us on multiple occasions via himself and other people.
Killed Tracker.
Killed Tracker. Trapped me and a Ruby.
No, he did that.
No. Yeah, but she did it for him, so it counts.
Well, she was the one wearing you guys at prom.
Wait, what?
And the bitch died.
Mhm. Here's a good one. We're gonna start with him because he's gonna have it all fresh in his mind. What I want to know how your expectations of what was gonna happen differed from what you actually experienced the first game. Like, how'd you think it was gonna be versus how it was?
Honestly, I thought it was gonna be competitive as fuck and just boring as hell. Honestly,
Then why were you so excited to play?
because like,
Because he made a friend, damn it.
well, I mean, when it seemed really boring, then Joey started talking about it, and I was like, okay, maybe. I didn't expect it to be this fun. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Oh, dude, this is a very good game, and people have been playing it for many years.
Yes.
Since '74, I believe, is when the first edition came out. Like once you see all the toys I have for it, and you actually like get the visual in your mind, it's not like you're sitting around a table talking and rolling dice. It's like you're actually in like an interactive movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. So you ever get those make your own adventure books as a kid? Like you read through the book and then it's like, what does the character do? If he does this, turn to this page. If he does this, turn to that page. It's like that. Kind of.
I like those games where it's like, it's mainly cutscenes, but every now and then it'll be like, okay, what do you
have to
say?
choose- yeah,
Or which way do you go?
something like that. Only the cutscenes are dramatically shortened in this version. Because you guys participate in all the cutscenes.
Right.
Okay. You are the next newest. I want to know, same question, basically. Okay. How did you think you were going to spend your session versus how your first session actually went?
How I think it was going to go?
Yeah. Like before you played, what did you expect to happen?
Nothing. It's like just the way and he explained it. It sounded like okay, and then I got here and it was fun.
A man of few words.
Like it seemed fun, but I never played it before because I was like so used to video games and
Yeah.
yeah. And then when I played, it was fun.
You're up.
What was the question again?
Before you ever played, like maybe you had only seen it done or heard it explained, or you had never actually played. How did you think your first game? What did you expect like to go down, or what to happen, or how it would go versus how it actually went?
Well, see, when I was growing up with our parents, I didn't really want to get into it because our dad was the only one who really played or had anything to do with it when I was growing up with them. And our stepmom, she always explained it as the nerd herd, you know. So
When I was growing up, it was devil worship. That's what I was told.
So like I was raised, or I guess I just grew up assuming it was just something for nerds to do, especially when our dad had this friend who played with him named Ben.
I never actually met him.
He come over one day, I shit you not, with a colander on his head, and those kids swords and chest plates and shit that you get. Yeah, he was wearing one of those, holding the sword. She took a picture of it. Swear to God. And I saw that and I was like, how fucking dorky are these people?
Like if you were LARPing,
like
out
he did
at
it
a
to be
fairground,
funny.
That's
but,
not. But you doing too much. You giving normal role players a bad name.
Like he did it to be funny, but to me, I was like, what is this really what they do? So I never really got into it until one day he was playing, And I didn't have shit else to do. So I was like, well, can I play? Can I try it out? So he had me run a secondary character of his that he had on hand. But they were basically like a tank. I didn't really do much, you know. So I didn't really learn much about it. So when I asked to play with you for the first time, actually, I think you invited me because I was spending the weekend with you.
You had talked about it, and I was like, well, you know, I'm a game master, right?
So I didn't really know what to expect because I didn't really get to play the first time. I was honestly expecting to be bored the entire time because I didn't really do much when I played with them. So I was
Right.
expecting not to do much and be bored. But I was like, you know, it's time I spend with my brother. I'm still going to take it.
Right.
And I had a freaking blast. Like, by the time I was expecting, you know, that when we got back, I'd just be going to bed because I would have been falling asleep during the game. And I remember by the time we got done, he was like, all right, let's wrap up. And I was like, we're done already? So
10 hours into it.
big difference there.
Like, you guys have no fucking idea how good it makes us feel to hear you've had fun. Because that's like our entire purpose, you know, is to make sure you guys have a good time. So, like, to know that all the fucking work you put in is accomplishing that, fucking amazing.
Our dad's going to watch this, and he's going to start watching it, watch the first part, and go, he shoved what in my daughter's mouth?
But pause.
He's gonna call you. Why would you let him violate her?
Because,
Question.
yeah,
And it's
you
mainly
always have a question.
a topic question, like geared towards Mr. That Guy over here.
Yeah, well, he still is that guy. Is that going to be your stage name?
I guess so.
We're gonna get him a T-shirt that says that
TG.
guy on it. Have the logo on the
We can
front.
nickname
that
him
guy on the
TG.
back. Anyway, that guy.
But you know, it can also be made broader for everybody else. What you're most interested in experiencing and learning as you learn how to play, and the broader aspect of that is what are the rest of us interested in doing more of.
Okay.
So while y'all start that, I'm gonna go do this.
Well, she asked you.
She said.
What aspect of the game are you most excited about exploring?
Honestly, don't know.
What part of the game was most fun for you? Like, not one specific, like, event or anything, but like rolling dice or combats or social interaction or just dungeon delving. Like, what part of the game was the most fun for you?
Honestly, I don't really have like one.
No?
No, there's like a lot. It was just all around your head.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What's your favorite aspect of the game? Your favorite part of playing in any system? Whether it be combat, role playing, exploration, just rolling a bunch of dice, talking shit. Like, what's your favorite part?
Combat.
Combat.
I'm mainly talking stuff. And then throwing, and then get messed up.
Watching me throw my pencil in anguish.
Okay. So what
I
was
know.
his answer?
Nothing. A cop out.
How did it move you?
What? He said it was all good. It's such a cop out.
Okay, I'm not saying, what was it. I'm saying, what are you interested in learning how to do or experiencing? Like, is there a specific class you want to try, or a race?
I don't even think he knows all the classes. Like, I haven't even opened the book with him yet.
Or maybe
He just kind of showed up and I said, here's your character.
Or maybe are you excited for the campaign you're now going to be in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got on the sign up sheet today. I have a sign up sheet for my campaign.
The class that I really want to try is maybe a wizard.
Wizard.
I know next race I want to do a dragonborn.
Oh, I got you. Dude. I got what color?
Black.
Black.
You don't got one of those.
That's gonna be
I
epic.
have a blank one. I can paint black.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be epic.
The question is, are you going to go martial class, which is like combat, or spellcaster class?
Martial.
So like a barbarian or a fighter.
Barbarians are like
Barbarians are beast if you're wanting.
yeah,
That
barbarians.
rage gets ya.
Yes.
That rage is the shit. He utilized the fuck out of that in Fantasy High.
Yes.
And you can do it like what? Like, is it twice a day at first level and then it goes up from there? Yeah.
Did you guys enter that or
He did.
what did he say?
Combat.
Combat. More combat?
More combat. He loves combat.
What about you?
I haven't really thought about it. I think my most, like, the aspect I love the most about gaming is the social interaction with actual people. Like the camaraderie, just having a bunch of people, even if, you know, they normally don't hang out all the time, just getting together in person, you know, and just having fun together.
Instead of like a computer generated NPC
Right.
or chat bot.
Exactly. Like there's nothing standing in between me and you aside from like the screen. But like you're right there and we tell this story together as a team. We have fun together as a team. And like we really just like learn to appreciate each other more.
It's my turn then?
Yep.
Well, I really like the player development, or not player development, character development,
Yeah.
centered more towards the social aspect, how we bond as characters and players, and how the choices we make and the actions we take affect other people, not just ourselves, and that teamwork that gets put in. So I'm really looking forward to getting more social and investigative and oriented campaigns,
Yeah.
because I feel like in those we really shine more with our social interactions. We really shine more as a team because we have that time and that
To
opportunity
evolve.
to bond and build those experiences together,
Yeah.
instead of just going in a hack and slash and deciding, oh, you have more gold than me. Now that we're done with this dungeon, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, you're gonna love the next campaign then. Because even though I fully intend to run combats in it, it is designed to where it is possible to run through the entire campaign without a single
I'm not
combat.
fighting next campaign. I'm really not.
I don't see that at all. I'm sorry.
Well, someone's gonna do something to piss you off enough.
You as a player is going to get pissed off enough that you're gonna be like, when he says what is your response, you're gonna go, I'm gonna stab him in the neck
With a fucking spoon. A rusty spoon. Yeah, he's gonna play a bunny rabbit in the next one. But yeah, it's fully designed to where if they wanted to, you could go through the entire campaign without a single fucking fight. So there's plenty of opportunity for social interaction. However, I personally like combat.
I do too.
So there's going to be some combat. I can't say that because you guys could turn it to where there's not if you wanted to. But hopefully there's some combat. Maybe I don't plan for any combat during the first session. Like at all, because the entirety of the first session is going to be you guys basically hanging out, chilling, having fun at a carnival.
How are we gonna meet each other?
At the carnival.
I know, but how? Like,
Have you ever met a random stranger at a carnival in real life or a fair?
no, I never went to one.
You never went to Pulaski County Fair.
No.
Oh my god. Have you ever gone to the park?
Yeah.
You ever run into someone you've never met?
Well, yeah.
Like
I never
that?
talked to one.
I guess Bugs Bunny does, doesn't he?
Yeah, but
She's
strange
probably going to be
danger.
pretty outgoing.
Favorite either playable race or monster. And I guess for you, since you haven't looked through the playable races or the monster manual, you can just use from the shit that you've encountered or played as or seen in this game. You go first.
You know what mine is. It's on that fucking poster.
Yeah, but they don't know.
Oh, yes, they do. I've been on YouTube for like 7 years. They know. The Beholder. Your favorite? What's your favorite?
Honestly, probably the Drider.
You know my least favorite?
What?
Not the fucking driver. That's badass.
I love the Driders, which is weird for me because I have severe arachnophobia and hate spiders. But I love playing
You see
a
the
drow,
big
and
titty
I love
spider
the
bitch in the middle?
Driders.
Yeah.
That's a drider.
I actually got to play a Drider in a one shot we did in Bloodkeep. And
Now,
honestly,
that was a marathon. We played for like 14 hours that night.
that was like my second favorite game ever.
Yeah, same. You.
Oh, I was gonna
Favorite
go
creature
oldest
from-
to youngest this time.
It don't matter. However you want.
Okay.
Favorite D&D creature.
Favorite?
Yep. Whether it's a humanoid race or a monster race or whatever.
He looks like he's about to attack out.
He is.
Huh?
Favorite D&D creature.
Oh, the dragon.
This guy.
Which one? The red
The
one?
red one.
Got access.
I was about to say that.
You?
I'm going to take me a
And I
photo.
guarantee it's going to change later down the road, but as of right now. Pickle Rick.
That's
The
not.
lycanthropical. Lycanthropical.
Wasn't that a homebrew?
No, that's in the module.
I mean, like for. Oh
For
yeah.
the- yeah, it's
Because
official
if it's
in
in
the
that
module.
module, it is official in D&D.
Yeah, there's even a section in here that states that you can continue on other adventures with the Rick and Morty character.
So I could pick to be a werepickle in our future campaigns.
No, only if you were running that character. I'm not gonna allow a bunch of Rick and Morty shit in every.
That's
game.
what I'm saying.
But no, it's stated in here that you can play more adventures as the Rick and Morty cast.
Okay, so we could use one of those pre-gens in like Stranger Things or something.
No,
Okay, then now you're confusing me because you said.
you're not listening.
Open the ears.
Okay,
After the close one.
this game finished.
Mm-hmm.
Say we want to keep playing with these characters. With all the shit they got from this, I could write a whole new adventure and continue with these characters.
Okay, like for an adventure you put together.
Yes.
Okay, that's where my confusion
No,
was.
you're not going to be able to do a pre-written adventure with this because it's going to fuck with everything. It's
Right.
not balanced for it. You tell me about trying to run Curse of Strahd with a ray gun. That's impossible of missing. Like it. That's why I did that. Like it's stated in there, you can shoot at the ceiling and it will hit the mage because it's a mage-seeking laser.
Why didn't we have him with all the other fucking puzzles?
That's him.
Where were you?
Where were you guys?
We were here
We were
playing.
here.
Where were you?
Where was my invitation?
At any point, you could have walked up to.
I mean,
Brother here.
everyone
Like,
at
yo,
that lumberyard
I play.
knows I play D&D. I talk about it 24/7.
Not our fault. You waited till the last fucking.
Hey, but he's here now. That's what matters.
He hung his head too.
Don't chase him away when he just got here.
Okay.
Remember, we want as many people into the hobby as possible. That way we get a bunch of more dope shit.
Right. He should have been here on Free RPG Day.
Oh, yeah. We got a bunch of cool shit.
That's actually when I got that. Kind of show.
What are some predictions and hopes you have for sophomore year?
Predictions and hopes?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many of each? Just one on one?
Yeah.
Okay. Prediction.
Oh my god, I'm slapping.
I think it would be really cool if this happened. If for that year's prom or homecoming or what have you, Riz and Zarina get king and queen.
What is something you hope to happen in Fantasy High sophomore year? And what is something you think definitely will happen in sophomore year? One thing you hope to happen, one thing you think definitely will happen.
I think he had a bad dream and woke himself up.
What happened? Well,
Did you
I
say
think
you
and I
hope
want to
play or
happen.
anything like that?
Yeah, one thing you think will happen and one thing you want to happen.
trying to think.
Technical difficulties. He just woke up. You saw
Just put the fucking loading
it.
the buffer symbol.
Yes.
Could totally make a meme of his face as a buffering
Clip
symbol.
it so where whenever he goes to sleep, it's the powering off, and when he wakes up, it's powering on.
Right when he woke up, when he's sitting there thinking about the question, all you hear is the fucking dial up.
Yeah.
That sounded like a car hitting the brakes.
I don't know.
I did. Go lay down, dude.
Go to bed. Or at least take a nap.
Okay, so
I
you
took a nap.
stated a hope.
Based on characters. Him getting in a fist fight.
Oh well, duh.
That's gonna happen.
That's
I
gonna
can already
happen.
see it. Someone's gonna, like, say some shit
Even
about
if no one,
Penny or
even
something.
if no one pisses him off, Tim will find a reason to fight.
I can see it now. He's gonna be there, and he's gonna just overhear someone talking about the girls going missing, and all he'll hear is Penny, and he'll think they're talking shit, and he'll beat the dog shit out of them, and then when he's sitting in detention, you know all they said was it was crazy when those girls went missing, right? He's gonna go, oh, I stand by my actions.
What's gonna be real interesting? I'm gonna bring him in as the Everman kid.
Wasn't that Nexus's in the other group?
Mhm. He's gonna be the other rich kid in town.
Hey, another
Are
money
you
kid.
gonna give him the same connection to Orthodox that you did Nexus?
No,
Or are you nixing that because he's got my connection?
I did that because the one that was supposed to have that was Brittany, and she switched groups.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason he had that connection. It's because I had to have a reason for Gorthalax to be in the campaign because he is a very pivotal part of the campaign. He's got a lot of the info. He moves a lot of shit forward. So he's a necessary NPC. So I had to find a way to tie him in.
I'm just really hoping that I can work on my relationship with my mom now that my character has, grown a little bit and started trying to fix things. I'd like to have that connection with her as well.
You know what I would like to see?
What?
Zandre go to hell and visit Bill.
Since
Not like die.
I have a question about that because you just got me thinking. Since I was able to go down there and tour with Orthodox, would I be able to take him down there for a visit and bring him back?
Possible.
That's something.
Wait, can
that
you
we
tell
can
me again
discuss.
since I'm fully awake now?
No, you're not.
Smash.
I'll tell you again, but we all know you're a dead sleep right now.
That's
Okay. What is one thing you really hope happens in
Sorry.
sophomore year of fantasy?
what we hope happens.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom gets high up in the police rankings.
Hell yeah, that's a nice one.
Do what?
He hopes his mom gets a promotion at the police department.
She's
Hey, I
just
get
an
paid.
officer, right?
No, she's a detective now.
I
So
said
like she could be like
Well, my mom
lieutenant
gets
or
off the
something.
black tar.
I'm gonna beg for ammo and stuff.
You think she's gonna sneaky shit from the evidence
Yes,
locker?
Yes.
Is that your prediction? That if
Yes,
she gets
yes.
promoted, she's gonna get you free illegal
Yes.
shit?
Yes.
I mean, she did mount a turret on his fucking bike.
Yes.
I'd like to bring up one building off of yours. What is something that you're dreading that you think might happen in season 2?
Okay. Okay.
And you can't say us fucking up your plans.
Oh, but that's such a pivotal thing that happens.
Literally, he spent 2 years planning that, and then when we played the very first session, we got ready to leave, and he goes, "I'm just
Went off
telling
the
y'all
rails.
right now, because of the choices you made, I had to improvise 80% of this session."
Oh, it's hard work.
He was aggravated.
It's very hard. I had all these notes that I couldn't
And
use.
props and like he went through the trouble of printing out and laminating this token card of just a Letterman jacket that he had went on and edited and made specifically for Marcus's
Zandre.
character Zandre, and Zandre didn't even get on the team, but he did. So instead of making him have to make another one, Zandre was just like, you know what, take this.
Yeah, for the first week he was on the team, he was wearing a Letterman jacket that said Seacaster on it. Until he had it fixed. Let me think. Okay. Something I'm dreading happening?
Mm-hmm. Something you think is going to happen that you're really dreading.
Based on what I already know.
Yes. And based on what's already happened.
I am worried that one of you is going to be corrupted.
Ooh.
If that doesn't pull at your tasty strings, I don't know what
But
will.
because he's DM and he likes to keep things suspenseful, he's not going to tell us who he's worried about.
Nope. It could actually be any of you, depending on how things go. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. What about you?
Because of how things went in the last one, and because of how our families tied into certain parts of the plot and everything, and because of how crucial those plot points are, and I know you very well, and you like to find someone who's made a bond with somebody or had character development and completely, like take them out, just to keep us like, what the hell? I am worried that you're going to pick like a parent of one of ours or a love interest and work to build that bond and kill them off. And my biggest worry for that is going to be my mom, because you know how big of a deal it is that I'm trying to rebuild that, and that fucking terrifies
Do
me.
you know why she brings any of that up?
What?
Because I did the exact same thing to Marcus last game.
He's done it on multiple occasions to multiple people.
He had this big falling out with his dad. And then before he even had a chance to talk to him to try to make it right, his dad was fatally attacked. And he had just enough time to talk to him to try to sort everything out before he died.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And like my character, her and her
His
mom
father
are just now
died in
fixing
his
things.
arms at 9 years old. Dragonborns age slow as fuck.
I forgot they were only like 8 and 9.
Yeah. He was 9 years old and his father died in his arms.
That's depressing and dark. I would not be surprised if his character developed some kind of trauma in the next season, like PTSD or depression or something. Some kind of trauma-induced issue.
But I thought, as much as you guys had like character growth, there was one NPC who I think had just as much growth, and that was Bill Seacast. The entire campaign, he was all about my son being just like me, and then when he had that falling out with him, you know, he's like, "You're nothing like me," yada yada yada. And then after, you know, all the shit went down and he was dying, and he had time to think about it, he was like, you know, "You're nothing like me," and that's all I ever wanted. He's like, "I've seen the way your friends look at you. You don't command no fear. You command no respect."
Isn't that what he said to him in hell?
Mm-mm. It was over the video he left him. He was watching it on the way to the house when it was burning. He said, "You don't command their fear, you command their respect." That's something I could never have pulled off at your age. Because Bill's thing was he led his crew through fear.
Kind of like the motto, you know, if you won't respect me, you will damn sure fear me.
Yes, exactly. And that's how Bill was. And then, right before, again, he had to die. And the only reason he died is because Marcus rolled so well on his check for that.
That's gotta, like, hit hard. Like, I'm the reason he's dead. And it's weird, like, these aren't even our actual parents or family members or love interests or anything.
But the way it's played.
But because you get so immersed in it, it's like, it really affects you as a person. As a player, it affects you when a character dies.
We made Annie cry during that last session of fantasy. Yeah.
She cried before that, too.
She cried a lot. Basically, her parents were like cultists, and she didn't agree with their views, so they put her out, right?
She come and live with
So
me.
she stayed with her for like half the campaign. And then after the big battle and everything, she went back to try to talk shit out with her parents and found out that her mom beat the shit out of her dad for putting her out. And all but begged her to fucking come back. And Annie just broke down. It was great.
I think the day they put her out was the day that they met me.
But that's how you know you're doing a good job as a game master, is when you get genuine emotional reactions from your players.
Ain't that the
Who
day
else
that
was
I
there?
put
Was
the
it
gun,
him or was
gun
it
on
Zandre?
him in the church?
Yes.
Was it Tim or was it Zandre that went to their house with me and her?
I think it was me.
Yeah, because they saw us standing a little ways back and they're like, "You're friends with Elephant and Typhoon?"
No, they called you a demon
Or
spawn.
a demon spawn, yeah. They thought that it was like the worst thing in the world for her to be friends with us, especially me because of what I look like and where I come from. And she was flat out like, "They're my friends and there's nothing you're going to do to change that. We've been through a lot together."
To which her dad responded, "Well, if your friends got your back so much, maybe you should stay with them."
And she, in tears, was like, "Okay, maybe I will." And she walked up to me and she starts explaining it. My character's just like, "All right, let's go home." Galir was all for it. It was one more person to eat the yogurt. The yogurt.
That's another thing I'm really hoping for, is to find a love interest for Galir.
Galir really needs a leg up.
He does. His life is so fucking depressing.
It really is.
Oh my
It's
god.
getting slightly better, slowly.
This man.
I'm
My,
predicting that my
my
mom
stepdad,
and
I
Julia
guess.
somehow connects.
Huh?
I tried to set that up last season, and Galir fucked it up so bad.
Wait, what is?
He said he's predicting that his mom and Galir hook up, and I tried to start something like that when she went to interrogate, when she went to question Galir, but he rolled so fucking low on his charisma check. I was trying to have him flirt with Skalanda. So I rolled charisma and he got like a 2. So are you ready for Galir's idea? I don't think you were there. I think that might have been.
That was the session I
Yeah.
missed.
Are you ready to hear your dad's idea of smooth talking a woman?
Yes.
He says, "Forgive me, Skalanda. I've not been myself of late. There's a pipe in my room that is leaking. So much mildew has formed in my shoe that my foot has a fungal infection." It's just horrible. That was his smooth talking.
Just explaining his horrible miserable
Yes.
life.
It was. He's just always. He's got that tone. He's just so miserable, and nothing ever goes his way. Which is why I think when he got the job, you were so excited.
His life was so sad, and I was like taking care of him. Like that job opened up, and the first thing I did was, Dad, get up here.
Yeah.
He got promoted though now, didn't he?
Yeah, he's
the
vice principal.
Vice principal now. I think it would be really cool is if, you know, she come to the school to get him one day and saw him, you know, in his clean suit, that he's doing better in life.
He's getting better at combing that shit over.
And like, hey, you seem to be doing better, and then he gets his groove back. I think that would be good for him.
What would be real funny is if he goes to do that and he gets in that one in that charisma check.
I have a question though, since I know like biologically he's not my father, but he's been my dad for years. He's my dad. So does that mean if him and her were to get married, Tim would become my brother?
If that's the way your characters see it.
I mean, we already are like really close friends.
Yes.
I think that would be an interesting plot development. Is there anything you want to talk about, maybe?
I think you were the only one really that ended that campaign. So, nope, you and Brett both ended the campaign single.
No. Marcus. Tracker died.
Yep, that's right.
How
did I forget that? We've been talking about it.
The only two that had a love interest by the end of it was Zarina and Tim.
Yep.
Because Tim got his girl back, and Zarina hooked up with Riz.
Yep. I'm just going on record as saying we've scored the best coming out story there is with Rog Barkrock.
What was that?
The fucking Dane's buddy. The half-orc on the
He
Blood Rush
wasn't
team.
gay. He was what's-his-face's son.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that
You
was
didn't
like...
pay attention in the last session then. He broke down crying during the last combat when Dane died.
Oh, and he attacked
That's
me.
right. I forgot about
And he
that.
attacked
Yeah.
me.
And then you guys basically had to talk him down mid-combat
Yeah.
for him to finally accept why he was feeling the way he was feeling.
Yeah.
To which he rushes back into combat with the battle cry of, I'm gay now! So yes, I'm sorry,
forgot
but
about
Rog
that.
had the best coming out story. He went through so many fucking emotional changes during that season.
He had to deal with everything with, you know, finding
With
out.
his friends, with his sexuality, with his dad, with you guys, everything.
Didn't he start as an enemy for us?
Yeah. Rog went through a lot of shit.
I think I almost gave him brain trauma.
No, almost. He's going to therapy. You fucked his emotional state all
You
up.
messed that man up, dog.
They were sitting there, they had him tied up on the Blood Rush field after the battle, right? And they're trying to question him to figure out what's going on, and every time he starts to have,
Didn't want him to rage out.
an emotional awakening where he starts to realize and cry and let his feelings out, she'd cast calm emotions on him and shut him the fuck up to where all that shit just stayed bottled
Didn't
up.
I cast sleep a couple times too?
I don't remember.
That's fucking mean.
Yeah. So he could never have a breakthrough. Finally, after like the fourth time, I had to tell her, you're fucking him up.
I think it was mainly like she was getting annoyed with the tears and was just like, oh no, we're shutting that down. I'm not listening to that blubbering. And I gave him mental trauma.
It's horrible. He's got like PTSD or some shit. He's got fucking DID now.
DID. Oh my god, you need to put
Hi,
that
I'm
into his
Hedwig.
You need to put that into his character. He's gonna fucking be like, hey Rod, we're going to the ice cream parlor after school. You wanna come? I can't. I have therapy now.
Rog and Rosalind.
Yes. It's canon.
It's not.
fucking canon.
It's not. I'm not.
It needs to be.
I'm not gonna do. That's too much of a dress to change over the course of 2 months.
You don't get scratched. I told the drop to get. Oh no.
Drop the cat.
He could be fighting with, wanting to open up, but being scared to because of his PTSD over the fucking calm emotions.
Oh, that's
Every time
horrible.
I try and open up, I
You're
get
going to hell.
spelled.
You know that? You're
I-
going to hell.
I'm good, I'll be with Gordon Lax.
You're already there.
I'm already in hell.
No, I don't mean you as a kid. I mean you as a player are going to hell.
I'll save you a seat.
I vacation there. I've got VIP passes.
I'm a
Season
bombay.
tickets,
I am
bitch.
Satan's child, come on.
No, you're not. You're both Alexis. It's funny because both your dads start with a G. Orthodox Galir.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Satan because of what we said. I was like, how the fuck does that start with a G? None of his names start
In
with
any
watch
game
Mario
we've
too.
ever played, you've never had a dad named Satan. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying because I had just made the comment, so that's why I thought that. Anyways, moving on from my stupidity.
Are you sure? It's not that I use it in the wrong form. It kind of catches us all up when we laugh at it.
Finally.
No.
Ugh, rabies.
What the fuck?
He said rabies!
That's not how rabies work.
Are you sure?
Unless you got them, that's not how rabies work.
He might have.
Circle, dot, dot.
Yeah, you
no,
had
you
your
might have to
week. Oh my god.
Joe?
What's one thing that you think you personally, as either DM for you or a
Whoa,
player,
whoa.
or a player,
No, dig
for us it's player, for you it's either DM or player. What do you think you need to work on personally when doing a game?
The main thing I think I need work on is the one thing I never have time to work on. Prepping.
Yo, no, big fan.
If I could get more prep work done, our games would go a lot faster and a lot smoother.
Right.
But I can't because the house is always fucked. And by the time I have time to sit down and prep, it's time to play. How about you?
One more.
Something you think you could improve on as a player?
Honestly, me just all around. So I can't really say anything. I gotta play a game.
You know, once you learn the rules a little better, you gotta get some more games in, get some experience. It all comes together. What about you?
What, baby?
I know
I
something
really
you can
don't.
work on.
More.
Thinking things through instead of just charging in first instinct.
Are you?
See all around. Just get to know the game better.
Yeah.
Careless.
You know what I think he could work on? Learning to use his brain before charging into danger.
Yes. Like for the adventure we just ran, it kind of worked.
Right.
But when we're doing like Fantasy High or Witchlight or anything like,
Bloodkeep.
yeah, you really
Bloodkeep
gotta
was
actually
brutal.
you gotta think through your
because-
decisions.
I ran Bloodkeep for 3.5,
Oh,
which
shit.
has expanded rules, stricter rules on healing. You don't get as much. There's no short rest like there is in 5e. So 3.5 is fucking brutal. And people were just charging into combat.
Because
And,
everybody's
like,
used to 5e.
and keep in mind, I had them on a combat 100 feet in the air on a flying ship with a giant tree monster rooting into it. Yeah, it was great. That shit got fucking demolished.
Ray was pissed because it was his. He's still pissed about it. We fucked with him. What was that? First episode?
Yeah.
He come in, we were like, hey, what'd you think of that pirate ship? He goes, fuck you, that fucking trench! It was funny.
That's alright. Wait till you finish the next campaign and you have to switch to a whole new system.
I think for me,
Okay.
and I know there's a lot of stuff that I still need to work on, but me personally, my personal opinion, I think the main thing that I really need to work on is getting better at either writing down on a separate sheet of paper or memorizing my feats and what they all do. Same with my spells. Because, like, the spells I can flip through the handbook and read really easily, but I don't always think to look at the feats. And I find myself a lot of time asking you, and then we end up stopping and you look it up, or we stop and you tell me. And I feel like it would go smoother if I either memorize it or I have a copy of it written
You
down
know
right
what Rob
there.
does?
Wow.
For feats that he can't remember what they do, he writes the page number down next to the feat.
So I can flip to it
That
easy.
way, when we're in game and you don't know what it does, he can just immediately flip to that page and read it.
I'd like to, when I can afford it, get in my own handbook because that would make it easier.
I have always suggested anyone that is playing a tabletop game should own a copy of, whether it be PDF, whatever, should own at least a copy of the player manual for whatever that game is. So, like, if we're playing D&D, you should have a copy of the Player's Handbook. We're playing Call of Cthulhu, you should have a copy of the Investigator's Handbook, you know.
Like, I want them, and I want to have them on hand, I just can't afford it. And I hate trying to use the PDF because it's so much harder to fucking scroll through and find it.
Luckily, he got into gaming around his birthday, so that was his birthday present from his mom. Was a PhD. And then I gave him another source book and a campaign module when he's ready to start running.
And a DM screen. You gave each of us that screen.
He actually gave me 3 of them.
So that was our run through of Lost Dungeon of Rickedness for D&D 5e. I highly recommend it. We had a blast.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was creative. It was.
If you like
intriguing.
D&D, you're gonna have fun. If you like Rick and Morty, you're gonna have fun. If you like both, oh boy, you're in for a time. Check it out. You can get the complete starter set for like $20-$25
There's
online.
pre-gens and.
Comes with pre-gens, dice, this nifty little DM screen that you're looking at here, a rule book, the module, everything you need. Really great fucking dungeon crawl.
Oh yeah.
So,
And there's so much in.
so
like
much.
there's so much more we haven't even done yet.
Yeah, we're gonna do the rest of the rooms on a later date. But so next week we'll be back with part 2 of Fantasy High.
Yeah.
But until then, whoop whoop.